Hello, this is V. Welcome to 258 VKM Studios. Today I'm reviewing Lego 41311 Heartlake Pizzeria. Last video I speed built the set. This video I'm reviewing the set. I am first going to show you the microdolls in the set. You get Oliver and Emma. First showing you Oliver. With like the outfit, it does look good on him, but I will say that he kind of looks more like a customer than like a worker. And in the set, he like drives this pizza tuk-tuk, delivering the pizzas. And now moving on to Emma, I will say that she does look good, but however, her outfit looks more like she works at a bakery rather than the pizzeria. And she does come with like this pizza tray, but I will say that with the pizza tray, in the instructions you assemble it at the very end, which makes no sense as it's like an accessory for the micro doll. So like it should have been something that Lego should have had, that you assemble this pizza tray when you're assembling the micro dolls. This is the pizza tuk-tuk, which I will say that with its design it does look very good, but there are like a few colours on the model that's like out of place, being this yellow roof here, which I think should have been red, and these purple doors on the back. I think they should have been like white. But anyway, this back bit here is maybe like for storage, and inside it there is like two of these pizza boxes, which are essentially 2x2 white tiles with a sticker on them, which you can just put them inside, and with the space you have in the back, you can like fit like a lot more inside. And you'll notice with the interior, there's no steering wheel, but it does have this piece here in white. And the reason why it has that, and it's all because micro dolls don't have anti-studs on their legs, and that's like the only way for like the micro dolls to like stay in place when you're like sitting them down in vehicles. So you put them on like that, which can be a little bit difficult sometimes. And you'll notice here there is a phone hanging off the wall, which I will say it's kind of a weird spot to like place the phone, because usually the phone would be like next to the driver, so maybe they should have like put it like here or here. And to do that, they would have to use like two of these 2x2 like tiles, where like half of the studs are on one half of the piece and then the other half is like tiles. And by doing that, it allows like the phone to be placed next to the driver without it like falling off. But I will say that with the tuk-tuk, there is a vehicle similar to a tuk-tuk, and that's known as a Reliant Robin. But the difference being is that its front wheel like sticks in rather than sticks out. And the thing about the Reliant Robin is that they are well known for falling over, but the only reason why they fall over, and that is because like that's if they get driven recklessly or it's hit by a strong wind. But overall, the design of this pizza tuk-tuk is very good, but it does have minor criticisms, being like the color palette, and honestly these pieces here should have been printed rather than stickers. On to the main build of the set, being the pizzeria. I will say when it comes to the exterior, I will say that this bottom half is really good, but I will say that the top half does feel backwards, as this kind of looks like something for like the interior of the model rather than the exterior. So with the top half, it feels like that the interior of the model is outside, while the exterior of the model is like on the inside. And when you turn it around, this bottom bit feels very full and complete, but this top bit feels like Lego just took a chunk out of it, and it kind of makes the interior feel incomplete. The interior of the model, it's very clear that this front bit is obviously the front of the pizzeria, while the back of it, being this bit, is like the kitchen. But I will say that this bit maybe should have been turned like 90 degrees, so this whole bit here can be like a proper kitchen. So therefore, when she's making the pizzas, she doesn't have to go around to get to the pizzas. She can just go straight across. And then with like this bit, this does seem a bit out of place. This kind of looks like more like something you'll find inside of a shop rather than like a pizzeria. And I will say that my copy of the set is missing a 2x2 white tile which has a sticker of like a pizza menu on it. And then moving on to this till here, it does look good, but however, I think the placement of the till is like what's letting it down, because I think the till should have been like placed here and it should be facing like 108 degrees to like when like the instructions tell you to place it. And I think with the set, I think the set should have included a third microdole, so therefore you can have one that drives around in the pizza tuk-tuk, one that makes the orders and cooks the pizza, and then that third microdole could be like working at the till here, taking in orders, taking in payment, and even taking in calls to well make the orders to be delivered. Now moving back to the kitchen, I will say that in this context, the stove with the frying pan and the spatula would be like out of place, because obviously it has a pizza oven, and I have no idea why there would be like a stove with a frying pan and a spatula, because maybe if it was a restaurant then it would like make more sense. And anyway, there's like a sink here which in there has knives and forks, and then on here you have some like bowls, which there's this piece here which is like a grill piece. It's commonly used on cars, but in this set it's used as like a cheese grater. And then you've got this cheese slope in yellow, which is pretty like matching to like what the name of the piece is, being cheese slope, and you have like a measuring jug there. And then you have here this little paper list, which is probably like meant to be like an order of like their pizza. And then you've got some like seasonings. You've got like a mixer, which does seem a bit out of place because that's something more in like a bakery rather than a pizzeria. But you do get a pizza roller. But however, unfortunately with microdolls, because you can't turn their hands, you can't actually get her to like roll the pizza. So the only way you can get her to do it is by essentially having her like do this. You have to have it like that. But if it was with minifigures, then it would be no problem. And then here with the pizza oven, obviously with the placement, it does seem like a bit open. I have modified the pizzeria, mainly the interior, and thanks to like some spare pieces in my copy of the set, and this set is a second-hand set, so there is a possibility that you do end up getting a piece that like doesn't belong in the set, but it can prove to be useful, which with the telephone, there's like a piece here which is used to like hold the telephone up, which when it comes to Lego telephones is that they're like very large, while like in person when you compare it to like a person's hand, it's like not that big. And with this, it doesn't make like the telephone like stick out like how it was with the official set. And you'll notice that the kitchen is more open. I've just turned this workstation like 90 degrees. And then you'll notice with the top, before this was like the exterior of the model. Now it's like the interior of the model, which I will say does look better, it being like the interior rather than like the exterior. But I've kept the exterior mostly the same. With like the spare pieces, I was able to like move this sign down from like up here to down there, which I think is like a much better placement for the sign, as people will probably like more easily see the sign. But it still looks like how it was before, well, mostly, with the exception of the sign. But overall, when you modify the interior of the set, I will say it does look better than like how the official set has it. Which the positive of Lego is that if you don't like something in the set, you can change it to something that you like by using pieces in your own collection, or to be more creative due to having more limitations, using like pieces within the set only. And the saying of small changes can make big differences does apply here, as overall now it looks better. Overall, the set is very good, but it does have minor criticisms which you can easily solve. And now we have made it to the end of the video. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe and stay in touch with the channel as more videos are coming out soon.